Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Okay, so this is not being used by anyone, so I can go ahead. So the best part is if anyone have used AWS to create the account, so you need the credit card for that. But for Atlassian product, you don't need a credit card or I mean you don't need to put any credentials to use it. So that's a good part because people are scared using in terms of billing things. So you can go ahead to use this Confluence without any credit card. Okay, because generally the cloud applications ask for your credit card thing, so which is not required in this case. It will not take much time. The cloud setup is far more I mean fast and easier than the local one. So you can see in the URL whatever site that you have mentioned, that will come as your personal site kind of thing.
And these sites are free to create, right? Free to create, free to use
Yes,
for some time or forever.
Up to 10, yeah, up to 10 user, it is free to create, use.
Okay.
Okay, so you can I mean these are the options that you get when you try to set up. So you can select few options at the start itself. If you want, you can, if you don't want, you can skip it. So if you are aware about the things, you can keep it like that. It is a customer service, or is it a finance Confluence, is it a HR department, is it IT support? So which one it is? Okay, so I am going ahead, for example, for software development. So what is our role? Okay, so designer, DevOps, development manager. So these are the options which you can select before going ahead, or you can skip it also. So this will help in terms of suggesting few things. Okay, so what you want to add, what is supposed to be added. So those kind of the help Confluence will give you if you select the options. So let's go ahead with DevOps and let's try. Okay, the first thing that you have to enter is the space. Okay, so space is basically, you can assume it like the in your personal machine we have a C drive, E drive, and those different drives, right? So you can assume that that is one of the drive. Okay, so that's a space you create. So you can have a multiple space in your site. Okay, but first you should have at least one space. So your machine cannot be like without a drive, correct? So it should have at least the C drive. So similarly we have to have one drive when you are creating the Confluence.
No, what is this drive used for? Will all of my data will be saved onto my machine?
No. I am giving the example. So when so space is basically like a repository. It is like a repository that will keep everything for you. Okay. So I'm just giving the example like your personal machine. You have the drive, right? You have a C drive, you have a F drive, so everything resides in your one of the drives. Correct.
Right. Okay. So you're just creating a namespace.
Yes. So
To save the
similarly,
data.
for Confluence, for Confluence, you have to create a repository kind of thing where you kept all your things. Okay. So the space, I'll just mention anything I can mention. For example, Confluence training. Okay. So this is the name of the space where we will create everything of for our learning. Okay. So you can have multiple spaces within your site. So this is a site. This is one of the space you are creating. Okay. So Confluence setup is almost done. Okay, so this is the page where you can mention the team member if you want, or you can, if you want, like you don't want to create a team member at the first when you're set up, you can skip this step also. So for your learning, I can just keep at least 2 users. So abc@gmail.com, for example, xyz@gmail.com, for example. Okay. So these are 2 users for 2 team members I have created. Okay, so I'll go ahead. So this is the first screen that you will see when you log into your Confluence page. Okay, so this is the name of the space that you have created. This is the space. Okay, and inside the space we have multiple pages. Okay, at the right side, sorry, the left side of your screen, you can see the pages. Okay, we have the multiple pages. So these are the pages created by default for you. If you don't want, you can delete it. So we have selected the option of like developer, and then we have selected the DevOps, then we have selected that the software development. So because of that, these are the default pages is being created for you. So these are the meeting notes page. There is a master project, so you can delete everything. If you create a blank space, you have not selected any of the option, this page section will be blank. Okay, so just to give you a proper idea about how it has been structured, somehow my presentation has been hacked. Okay, anyway, there is nothing in the presentation today. I have not created any presentation. It's only one slide. Okay, so how it has been structured is a tree-like structure. At the top we have a site. Okay, below the site we have multiple spaces. You can create multiple space, and inside the space you have the pages. So it's a three level architecture kind of thing. Okay, so at the top we have site, then we have a space, then we have a pages. Okay, you can have multiple space, and one space can have multiple pages. Okay, and within pages also you can have a page within page. I mean, so Confluence training is the child page of Confluence training. This getting started, can see. So this is like a basic how it has been structured. This is the home page when we have the space, then we have this pages, and you can create and add things in your pages. So let's go ahead with the installation. Let's stop here and go back to the installation. What happens? The site cannot be reached.
Won't it
So
require
this
a
is what
restart
I
again?
told it. No, I don't think so. It should not be.
Or there is something
Let
which
me
is not
restart
responding.
this.
Open office. Okay.
So installation part is a bit tricky in your local machine for this Confluence. Let me try restart it. Not restart the machine. I'll try to restart the Confluence. So Confluence setup is done now. Sorry, installation is done. Now we have to go ahead with the setup thing. Let's try this. We have the Atlassian. We have the Confluence. We start this again. So I have tried it around 3 to 4 months back, and I mean, it's that time also it was not that easy to install in local machine. Okay, that's fine. Let it continue. Okay, so this is the
Hey,
page I was
Vikas,
talking about.
do
Okay.
you have Jira installed as well?
Sorry, come again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I
I
was
can hear
saying, do
you.
you have Jira installed as well on your system at the moment?
Jira we have installed earlier, but right now it is not running.
Okay. But
Why
I
are you
think it
asking
was
for
also
Jira?
running on port 8090, so there could be a port conflict.
No, 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 no. When we installed the Jira, it was running on 8080 first of all, and right now it is not running at all. And if it is running, we'll get the
Okay.
port number issue. Yeah, it was
Okay,
running
okay.
on 8080, and anyway, it is right now
Okay.
it's not
Sure.
running. You can,
Sure.
yeah, if you want to verify, we can verify the same thing.
Understood.
Just for your understanding. If you can see this Apache common daemon thing. So you will have two instances of this if you are running Confluence and Jira both. Okay, you can check in the taskbar process just for your understanding.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's working. So I've just restarted the Confluence setup and it was working. Okay, so just to for your understanding, we have already installed it. The setup was failed, so I have just go back and restarted it from this service. You can take a note of it. So you can go inside program files, Atlassian Confluence. We have one option bat file, start service.bat, and you can restart your Confluence. Okay. So I have just restarted this one. Now it is asking for trial installation or the product installation. So we don't have the license, right? So we have to go ahead with the trial installation. Okay, now it is asking me like, please enter your license key. So this is the trial license we have to put. So there is the URL from where you can create the license part. Yeah, so it's again the same kind of screen that we get for Jira. Organization you have to mention, your instance is already up and running, so you have to select that radio button. This is the server ID, it has been taken by default from your system, and you can generate your license. Now it is asking like, please confirm that you should install in the localhost. That is fine. Yes. Okay. So it is by default taken that license key that has been created. Now we can go for next. So this database setup also will take some time, 10 minutes at least. So choose your deployment type. Okay, so this is like it is asking, is it a standalone? It is a clustered. So clustered option we select when we have like a huge team. I mean, we are talking about thousands of people working. So we install the clustered structure for the Confluence so that it will be like in terms of availability and in terms of performance. Okay, so right now we can go ahead with this standalone. Okay. So this is the step for which we have installed the MySQL already. Okay, we need a database for Confluence setup. So I already have the MySQL installed. So I will go ahead with the MySQL. So we have the PostGRE, MySQL, Oracle, and Microsoft SQL Server option. So Jira, we have the inbuilt database. There was an option of inbuilt database. But for Confluence, we don't have a inbuilt option. So you have to install one of the databases. So I'll go ahead with the MySQL. Okay. So when I'm selecting MySQL, it is asking like Confluence needs a driver. Okay. So you need a MySQL driver to go ahead with this installation. Okay. So from where I can get that? So I have already downloaded it. I'll just show you where it is. Confluence. So this is the connector. You can get it in Google. This is the jar, MySQL connector Java. This is a jar file that you need for your to run the Confluence in MySQL. So you have to. I'll open the presentation for this. I have mentioned that. So you have to copy this connector in where you have installed your Confluence. Okay, in Confluence, program files, Atlassian, Confluence. We have one Confluence folder, and then you have a web-inf folder. Then we have a lib folder. So inside this folder, you have to put your connector. This is a MySQL connector for Java, so that this can communicate with your database that you have installed. So by default, when you are installing the Confluence, you are not getting this connector bundled in your application. Okay, I don't know what is the reason why they are not providing the connector by default. So you have to go manually and you have to add this connector to so that your application can talk to your database. You can see the PostGRE is already there. You can find the PostGRE and you can find for Microsoft also, but for MySQL it is not there. Okay, it is not supporting by default. It is not coming bundled. Okay, so this is the location: program files, Atlassian, Confluence, web-inf, and lib. So you have to mention this jar in this directory. Okay. So let's continue with the installation. So I have just mentioned that jar in that. So you have to restart Confluence because you have added the jar in your lib directory. So it will not take up until you restart the Confluence. So I'll just kill this instance. Okay. And then I'll go and restart the Confluence again. So I hope everyone is with me. Any confusion, I can explain it again. Okay. So
installation
the
is
same
okay.
process.
To be very frank, because
Yeah.
see, I feel that installation is okay. I mean, installation is just a one-time job. The more important is how to use, what are the best practices, and all those things, right? I think that is more important.
Yeah, we will cover. Yeah, we will cover that part also. But I am supposed to cover the installation also. That is what I've been told that we have to cover the installation also.
No worries for that. It's just that we have got only 30 minutes left, so I was cognizant of the fact.
That's fine. So I have restarted the setup again. So if I can switch to and fro, but if I switch too much, the installation, I mean, people will not understand what is going on in the installation. I think it's not started yet. Okay, let me go back. So this will load your the screen where you can verify the database connection is successful or not. Okay, let's parallelly continue with the session. Okay. So we were in this was the home screen that we have reached where we can see your space where you can see your pages. Okay. So let's start with one of the page. I'll open this Confluence training where that we have created. Okay. So first thing I want to cover is you have created this page, right? Inside the Confluence training getting started, we have this Confluence training. But what you think is let's create one more page. Okay. I'll create so when you want to create a page, you have to be sure where you want to create. Do you want to create inside the page or you want to create at the top of the page, I mean the parent level. So if you want to create at the parent level, you have to be in the overview section. Okay, right now the conference training is selected, but I want to create in your the default page, right? So we can go in home, we can select this space, and then you can click on create. So you can see there is no blue, I mean nothing, none of the page is highlighted right now. Okay, so none of the page is highlighted. So when I click on create, so the new page is created at the top level. So let me create, for example, the first page of training. Okay, so let's put some content also. I am trying to create training page. Okay, so you have to publish this to make it available. Okay, when I click on publish, yeah, can you see this first page of training? So this is the page you will see at the top level. Okay, and if you want to create page inside page, you can select this particular page and you can click this plus sign. Okay, and this will create a child page of the first training page. So this is basically child page of first training page. So when I click on publish, yeah, so you can see the first page that we have created, and there is one child page is being created inside this. So this is how we create pages for Confluence. Now, so for example, if you have by mistake you have created this page and if you want to delete it, so how we can go ahead and delete a particular page? Okay, so for that, let's go inside this. I'm right now I'm in the child page of training. Okay, so you have this three dots. Can you say the right? Okay, so there are more actions and there is one option of delete. So you can go ahead and you can click on delete. It will delete your page. So there is option of, do you really want to delete it or you want to archive it as of now? So it will just help you in terms of you don't want to like lose your data. So you can, if you want, you can archive it also, or you can go ahead and delete it. So right now I'll try to just show you how we can delete it. Okay. See, your page is gone now. So you just have deleted one page where you want to go and check, like if you want to restore it and what you have been deleted, that you can check. There is one space setting just below your space. There is a space setting, and there we have this option of overview, permission, content look and feel, integration. So there is one option of content and tools. Okay, so in the content and tools, you will see one option of trash. Okay, so trash is a place where you can see what you have been deleted for this space. So you have deleted this page, right? So either you can permanently delete it by clicking on purge, or you can, if you want, you can restore it. So both the options available for you. So if you click on restore, it will come back wherever you have created. Okay, so this is like there are n number of functionality we can, I mean we can't go each and everything, but these are the things related to pages. Right now we can explore as much options as possible. Okay, so this is about pages. You can create pages, at the parent level, you can create pages at the child level, and you can delete it, you can, if you want, you can restore it, you can permanently delete it, you can do all those stuff. Okay, now so for example,
Yeah, because
yeah,
before you go further, can you show the versioning part of it? So, for example, if child page of the first training page you have created, and can I created a next version of this one? So, for example, I write one more line and say it's version 1.1 or something like that.
No,
I mean,
no,
the
it is
versioning
not
part you
like
mentioned.
that versioning.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it is not like that versioning. So versioning in terms of like you can see what has been changed. I mean, for example, if I click on the particular page, so you can click. Can you see the page history?
Sorry, I
So
was
from this
yes.
page
I said
history,
yes.
yeah, from the page history, you can see what has been done for this page. So this is how they are maintaining the version. It is not like 1.1 or 1.2. You can see the entire version of this page. What was so current version is this. Can you see this?
Yes.
So if I change something big, you will see one more entry here.
Okay. Can we do that? I mean, just you see.
Okay. So for example, I click on this page, and if I edit it, can you see there is one more version?
Yeah.
So similarly, we can see this entire history of your page, what has been done throughout the life cycle of this page. If you want, you can select and you can compare also.
Yeah, that's okay. Fine.
Yeah. So for example, if you click on this page, you can compare what has been done in this and what else. So we have added this part, right? So you
Yeah.
can see that comparison also. Okay. So what I was talking like, yeah. So in the space settings, we have various options. Let's try to explore as much as possible. So I'll try to explore the important one, which is required generally in day-to-day activity. So in the space settings, we have this look and feel option. Okay. There's theme, there is header and footer, there's so this PDF layout and PDF style sheet is just to when you try to export it, how the export should look like. For that option, these two things are used. So when you PDF layout, so these are the options. How your so this is a bit of like out of scope. So this is just to give you the information. This is just being used for when you try to export it. Okay. So header and footer is being like the general which is being used across the organization. So when you for your organization you have created a space, okay, and you are creating multiple pages, but you want like what should be in your header and what should be in your footer for your application, okay. So you can mention like what is the this is my and this is my footer. Okay, so when I save it, so this header and footer I have created inside the space. Okay, so that means so this header and footer have created the space level. Okay, so in that case, this header and footer is applicable in all the pages inside this space. So whenever you create a new space, this header and footer will automatically being added to this pages. So it is not added for the existing page because it was no, it would reflect in the existing one also. So you can
Oh,
see
it
this
just
is my
takes some
header.
images.
Yeah. So you can add header and footer for your page. But now the question is, for example, if you create a space header and footer and it has been applied in across all the pages, but you don't want it. I mean, so but this is the default one, but you want a specific header and footer for your page. So what we can do in that case? So you can go, that option is available inside the page also. So we have this option where we can go and we can add the header and footer for your particular page. It should be inside the edit, I think.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.